about how chiropractic works or the kinds of conditions that it can help with, and also to sort of break apart some of the myths that people may have about chiropractic.
On and on.
Yeah.
She's on all the time.
Well, it seems that way, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. And we don't do it necessarily to promote her practice. We do it to educate the public about perhaps an alternative to suffering from pain, because nobody can help solve the...
Yeah, there's not a call to action. There's not a coupon.
There's never has been.
If
never
you
will
call
be.
us before, it's not like that.
Yeah. So there's two different kinds of marketing. There's share of mind and share of market. Share of mind just establishes within somebody's mind a potential possibility. Share of market says, hey, there's a sale today, come on in.
Right.
And so we started looking at outdoor advertising this year, billboards they call it in the real world. And my good friend Todd Porter said, hey, well, Harry, I'd be happy to take your money, but I'm not even going to discuss it with you until you actually come up with a great billboard. I don't want to see a mediocre billboard coming up for you. I don't want to see a low quality. I want to see something that comes up that has the ability to be effective.
Well, he's kind of pushing you, isn't he?
I was pleased that he didn't take my money when he could have.
Right. Right.
And I thought that was very honorable for him to do that. And so we've spent 4 months, working up concepts that actually might explain, do the work of marketing to get somebody to understand that a chiropractor might be able to help them with a specific condition. And 2 weeks ago, we had our first round of billboards go up.
It's only been 2 weeks?
Only been 2 weeks, yeah.
Because I've been seeing these. There's 4 or 5 of them.
There is.
Get it up there. I'll put it on the...
All right, let's see if I can get this on my phone for you. And it's the billboard, if you haven't seen it yet, is the picture of Barbie with a clamp squeezing her skull flat. And basically, the message is 2 words: headache, relief. And headache is in red and relief is in green. And then our logo is in the bottom right-hand corner. And it meets the criteria of solid billboard advertising, which is, number 1, get somebody's attention.
Right.
Number 2 is get some interest.
Right.
And most people don't do that with their billboards. Most people come in with a lot of words about a lot of things about what their business does.
We have a funny idea of what... We want to see our name up there.
Oh, and you want your phone number?
Oh, and
your website
and
address?
12 other things.
Right.
And how many seconds do they have to look at the billboard?
Yeah, they might even catch it out of the corner of their eyes or driving by. So we really wanted a very clean billboard that was just free of clutter and easy to see and easy to go, oh, I get it. And so the Barbie with the squished head gets your attention.
Right. I see the vice.
You see the vice. You got an idea that her head's not feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we say headache in red.
Yes.
Which is what you stop at a stoplight. And then we say relief in green. And
wow.
And so it's it's got a subliminal message there. Yeah. And then we've got our logo, which has our name in it, and that's it. There's no phone number, there's no address, there's no bill, there's no website.
You're thinking people probably have the ability to find you.
Well, it's interesting. Headaches. Yeah, there's a thing called Google.
I've heard of it.
Some people have that thing called Siri.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they both do
they
the same
say, where
thing.
is Frye Chiropractic?
Right, or call Frye Chiropractic, or whatever.
Yep.
And ultimately, if they go to our office or somebody else's, I don't care. A very sad thing occurred a couple of weeks ago. I was in a school district that was just recently in the studio, and we were talking about careers, and we were talking about chiropractic as a career. And I was explaining how the nervous system works to these kids. And I was curious if anybody in the room had a headache. And 7 out of 10 kids get regular headaches, or at least raise their hands. Whether that's accurate or not,
yeah.
I was blown away, and the teacher was blown away. And so then
So when there's a headache going on, there's no learning going on.
Well, there's a number of other issues like that, right? And that was actually verified in the next class. The teacher said, "Hey, ask that question again. I'm curious if this was just an anomaly or not." And what I think is causing this epidemic of headaches is kids get TextNeck. In the old days, we used to call it whiplash neck, where your neck has lost its curve, and kids are getting it now because their heads are down the whole time texting. Right?
Wow.
And that'll cause a headache all day long because the nerves that go to the head come out of the neck. they don't circulate in the head. They actually come down to the second or third sort of space where nerves come out, and then they go back into the head. And if their head's if they've got a TextNeck, there's pressure on the muscular and the vertebra in there, and that pressure causes pressure on the nerves, and that causes headaches all day long.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting. And it's sad, because what will happen is these parents will go, well, what's wrong with my kid? Why is my kid fidgety? Oh, maybe he doesn't need ADHD medication.
Right.
Maybe it's because he's got headaches. Maybe my kid's not talking to me today because he's got headaches, or he's sleeping because he's got a headache. Kid doesn't know how to verbalize it. Kid thinks it's normal. Kid thinks everybody gets it. You ask most people who get headaches all the time, they think it's normal. Well, pain is a sign that your body says something's not right. So it's an abnormal function. It's not a normal function of the body to be experiencing pain.
Don't mask it.
Well, you could cover with aspirin. That works really well.
Does that solve it?
No.
No, because the next day you're texting again.
Right. Well, the way to solve it actually is to hold your phone up like this, and look straight at it as opposed to looking down. And there's some exercises we could teach the kids to do, or some ways we could teach them to sleep, and some things that would help mitigate some of the effects of TextNeck. But ultimately what happens when you get a TextNeck is degeneration starts to kick in because the bones are out of their normal position. So they rub in the wrong way, and then degeneration is like a tooth rotting in your mouth. It only goes in one direction.
At 7 years old.
We've seen it in kids very young.
Oh.
Yeah. We used to, when Suzanne first opened her practice, we never saw it in kids 18, 20 years old.
Really?
Yeah. We see it all the time now.
Hey, speaking of Suzanne, where did you get the tag, she's gentle and she cares?
Oh, it's genius, isn't it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
You borrow it?
Yeah. From me.
From you?
Yeah. Yeah. It was an inspiration actually in the radio station, probably in this radio station with a lady who used to run it, Catherine Moreau.
Right.
And she and I were having a little brainstorming session, and it came out of that.
She's gentle and she cares.
Yeah.
And that was 20-something years.
I'll tell you something about that. We were driving down 10th Street West, and we saw this guy with no shirt on, and he had a gun in his hand. He was walking down looking pretty pissed off on the side of 10th Street West. So we dialed 911, got the Lancaster Sheriff Station, and this is Dr. Suzanne Frye. There's a guy walking down the street with a gun in his hand, and the sheriff goes, "No, you're Dr. Frye? You're a gentleman, you care?" "No, you don't understand. There's a guy with a gun. He's walking down this. You're Dr. Frye? You're a gentleman, you care?" But that's the power of radio.
The power of radio, and here we are.
There you go.
Thanks for spending time with us.
Chris?
She's gentle. He's gentle. They both care. They're both gentle. They both care. Frye Chiropractic. Thank you very much, Harry. We'll be right back.